Hello and welcome to a detailed video on the content audit reports that can be created for your libraries that are hosted on the Unify platform. These reports help save time for BIM managers by determining the overall organization and health of your Revit content libraries by running a full report which includes file names, categories, imported CAD, file size, nested files, types, and parameters. These reports are beneficial to both AEC firms and manufacturing companies. It can help you decide if the families are up to your standards and if any changes are needed before the families are hosted on your Unify site. Page 1 is an overview of the entire chosen library. This page illustrates the number of parent-level families and their nests, whether all families have been successfully parsed, and their library. You can see which families are in the library by clicking on any graph on the page, or by choosing multiple family names in the bottom right corner. Page 2 shows the number of families in each category. For example, if you select Windows, you will see the list of families under Window appear. This is useful when quickly reviewing the category to verify all families will show up correctly in an end user's project. Imported geometry or CAD in Revit families have been proven to be bothersome in projects due to bloated file size. There have been issues with rendering those types of families. The third page of the library content report will show how many and which families contain imported geometry and CAD. Ideally, all Revit families should be built with only native Revit geometry. Page 4 displays the file size of the entire library. Ideally, families should be no larger than 1500 kilobytes. If they are larger, it may be due to complex geometry, bad modeling practices, imported foreign elements, or overuse of nested families. The larger a family file size is, the easier it is to bloat a project. The graph on the right shows the name of the family with their file size, while the graph on the bottom shows the category. Selecting a family from the right can then change the bottom graph for that family. Selecting multiple families will change the bottom graph again. Using nested geometry in a Revit family is useful when controlling the parent family or when creating a series of families using common pieces of geometry. Preferably, there should be no more than 3 levels of nesting, and all levels should be named in order to ensure an understanding of its function. They should never match the parent family name, as this will create problems when trying to edit the nest. This page shows all parent families followed by its nested family name if it has a nested family. Utilizing this chart can give you a better understanding as to the hierarchy of the families. If there are multiple nested families with the same name, it is possible that they are the same nests. Knowing this can make updating families easier. Page 6 continues to show nested levels, but only for the families that have them. It is set up in an easier to understand format. Its focus is on one family at a time, and even shows the type associated with the nested family. It is possible for a nested family to have multiple types. Type names are very important to Revit. It allows the end user to have multiple types within the same family that can then be changed to another type easily. Type names are a description which typically includes size, material, and/or color. The more straightforward the name is, the better. For example, manufacturers most likely would not want a model number like BW or standard as a type name when dining black chair, white fabric will work better. This page allows you to filter types by family or by type name. From there, you can see the parameter values for each type. Page 8 shows the manufacturer, URL, and model parameters. This is used to quickly look for inconsistencies between the families. For an AEC, manufacturer would be different for most families. However, they may want to know that the URL mentions their company name. For a manufacturer, URL and manufacturer would need to be filled out with their company information. Parameters are used everywhere in a Revit family. They are useful for scheduling and controlling geometry. This page allows you to find parameters and their values in an easy format. You could search by family name, parameter name, or by parameter value. Formulas help drive the geometry and other aspects of a Revit family. A complex formula could pose a problem if fixes need to be made, and the formula is too difficult to be understood. It is easy to make mistakes in a long formula. There is not a recommended formula length, just an advisement to keep the length within reason. If you select a formula, you can see which family or families it belongs to. A lot of families utilize subcategories for geometry, model lines, or symbolic lines. You can search either by family or by subcategory. Ideally, subcategories that are used should match either Revit out-of-the-box subcategories or the subcategories that are specific to your company. These tables allow you to quickly view the names of subcategories and the families they are in. It is possible that families with undesired subcategories need to be reviewed and have them removed. Deduplication is meant to show families with another family by the same category to isolate duplication of parent and nested family. Shared parameters are useful for architectural and engineering firms since they typically use the same shared parameters throughout their content. Usually, the shared parameters are for tagging and scheduling purposes. This page highlights parameters with some discrepancies between the parameter name and its GUID in the shared parameter list. Shared Parameter Conformity Report shows you how many shared parameters are from the shared parameter list and which ones utilize different GUIDs. Typically, you want all shared parameters to come from the list that the company uses. This page shows all parameters, family and shared, that do not exist in your shared parameter file by name. All information can be used to determine if a parameter should be added to the shared parameter file since it was used often. Many companies like to know if there are unused shared parameters. These graphs allow them to see which parameters are not being used and determine if they should be in a family. With this tool, we are able to give you a comprehensive look into your libraries and families to ensure they adhere to your company standards. Please feel free to contact our support team via our website, unifylabs.com. We will be more than happy to assist you.